Welcome to ComeonyespursTV. We are reviewing the match between Spurs and Frankfurt taking place on Wednesday, the 12th of October at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We will be reviewing the match. I've got with me a regular, Chuma. He will be with you very, very shortly. Bear with me while I bring him on in a minute. In the meantime, come on, ye Spurs. Um, Welcome back. We are going to review UEFA Champions League match day 4, Tottenham Hotspur versus Eintracht Frankfurt. With me today, I have Chuma. Chuma is a regular on ComeonyespursTV. Chuma, how are you?
Oh, I'm super good, Soji. Great, thank you. It's great to be back. I haven't been uh, for quite a while. I've been away, but it's great to be back. I'm
We
talking
missed
all
you
things
actually. We
Spurs.
have missed you. So yes, welcome back. It's good to have you back. And
Thank
while
you,
you've been
thank you.
away, a lot has happened. I mean, the last time we were here, I think it was the
Oh,
match against Arsenal. I think we did the match preview, right? And yeah, I think that must have been the last time we met. And a lot has happened since then.
yes,
And
that was the last night.
yeah, we didn't do quite well in that match. And we've had a really tough week post that match. We went away to Frankfurt, and just before that, of course, we lost. The team lost um, Gian Piero Ventrone
And Piero
in tragic
Ventrone. Yes, yeah.
circumstances, and it's been a very tough time for the whole team. On the back of that, we went up to Brighton, gave a really solid performance. I mean, and came in with a one nil victory. Chuma, I mean, a lot of people would say that. I mean, we're not pre-reviewing that match today, but I mean, just talk us through a little bit of what you think went on in the last few days.
The game against Brighton was, I think, the game. No, we had this discussion about playing three in midfield, how the affected Spurs, and he ended up going for two, Bentancur and Højbjerg. You know, what I felt was going to happen happened, and they owned. They were passing around us with ease. Even then, there were still some moves that could have come off in the Arsenal, just the Arsenal match, and it was a bit of a downer. But you take the loss. We now went off to Frankfurt, where I really thought that he was going to go three in midfield again. Once again, he didn't. He went two in midfield, Bentancur as well. And I think it was more a case of profligacy and in terms of taking certain chances, and we could have come away with 3 points in that game against Frankfurt. I think we had, and um, then Brighton, he now decided to bring in this. Everybody, like majority of the fans, had been calling for that. Look, in the absence of Kulusevski, what up midfield and the first 25, 30 minutes of that game against Brighton, I felt we played really good, really in control. We were quite front foot. And then, but Brighton, a really good team. They have a good new one who's quite attacking, and they came for us, and it was more a case of we scored the goal. It was now entirely up to them to break us down, and they couldn't. We were quite solid, and a lot of emotion, and also because of the travel as well, you could see they were quite leggy. But that emotion of playing, I said it before the game on the platforms. I said, look, because Giampiero Ventroni guys will not lose that match. They will not lose that whatever match you play after the announcement. We're not losing. You could tell the affection they had for him. I've never seen so much outpouring of love and condolence in Tottenham players social media, like I've seen for, and he's reputed to be like a very hard guy, but you could tell they loved it. They loved him,
Yeah,
and you
because I think he had a
see
very
it on
close
Conte as
relationship with.
well.
Yeah, I think he had a very close relationship with a lot of them, and he kind of was very, very much a blessing to all of them. Some of the most recent results haven't been um, have been a bit damaging, if you like, because we suffered the defeat away to Sporting Lisbon, and then followed very quickly by the one we lost at North London Derby against Arsenal. I mean, those two defeats have overshadowed what we might call a solid start to our season. Having not been beaten any of our games, 10 previous games before that. But I mean, I think surely it just means that this time around we must be really looking at taking all the 3 points against Frankfurt, because at the moment, as the table stands in that group, we're second, but only
Yeah,
on goals difference ahead of Frankfurt. So if we win that match and things go for us and Sporting lose or draw, we will top that group at the end of match day 4. Now, I think one of the things we sort of, some people say that, okay, so far so good. We've only scored 2 goals in the Champions League, and there were 2 late goals from Richarlison in the match against Marseille. And I think some folks will probably tell us that, oh yes, the only reason we won that match was because we were playing against 10 men. But I beg to differ, but I guess, I mean, everyone to their view, if you like. Now,
fair enough.
coming up to this game, and we're playing at home, front foot, attacking. Now we still have essentially the same personnel, right? We're going to sort of look at the potential lineups as we go along. But if you look at it so far, I mean, I think we've given a good account of ourselves in most of the matches that we've played, even though we've been what you might call, it's very difficult to call. I mean, a bit lackluster, if you like, in many respects. And some people will tell you that, look, I don't know if it's because Conte is very rigid in the way he wants to play, and he doesn't change things unless he really needs to. So people, and because of that, all this calls for, I mean, having 3-man midfield, and 3-5-2. He just sort of is water off his back. I just even get the feeling that, I mean, the last match when he played 3-5-2, his hand was more or less forced because he needed to rest some players. Otherwise, he would have he would have persisted with his three.
Yeah.
Yeah, three four
He's
three. He wanted to rest Richarlison. So I guess that might have been one reason, I guess. But however, I mean, let's just do a little bit of housekeeping before we continue. I mean, if you're new here, I mean, subscribe to Come On You Spurs TV, like us, leave a comment, and share this with your friends, relatives, colleagues, whoever you think will benefit from this. I mean, like I said, Come On You Spurs TV is part of the global sports family. I mean, everyone. I mean, there's so many flavors of Spurs all around the globe, and we possibly unique in our own little way, because our bent or our flavor is more Nigerian, because the vast majority of people who who follow us are of Nigerian extraction. But that doesn't mean that if you're not of Nigerian extraction, you can't follow us, because we all love Spurs. So hey, yes, we look forward to you joining us, and let's boost our subscriber numbers. We can bring you better content. Yes. So like us, share and subscribe. Right. So here we are. Going forward, this match, what are your views? I mean, let's just have a quick look at it. What do you think?
it was Giampiero's funeral yesterday or the day before,
Yes, yesterday.
and yeah, it was yesterday. The hierarchy all flew to. He got buried in Naples, and you know, I think I believe in someone home in style. So my thoughts are we're going to damage Eintracht. That's my view. It comes through, it doesn't, I don't know. But I think we're going to pull out a lot of stops tomorrow, and it's a home match. It's a whole different. Um,
Filter it, yes.
yeah, the fact that the fans, The fan also come up. It depends on what he's playing. I saw a very good sign. I saw Kulusevski in training this morning. Saw pictures of him and Lucas Moura.
Apparently, oh, yes, that's good news for us. I mean, I don't want to focus too much on Frankfurt. I'll just focus on us, on this match. I know they've had a really patchy season as well. I mean, if we look at the form leading up to this match, I mean, let's just have a look at what the form guide or form book is
No,
looking
but
at.
you realize that I think one of the huge stumbling blocks for Tottenham fans at the moment is the fact that it's always in comparison to what this has been probably our best start to a season since Poch prime Poch years. I think we're 1 point behind the best Poch ever did, front foot style, everything. So front foot and proactive, as Poch was, we're 1 point behind that, and we haven't played well or been whatever it is people are saying that we should be. And I look at it like it's because of those people down Seven Sisters Road.
Well,
But for those guys,
yeah, so I mean, you're right. I've always been about, look, this thing is about perspective, isn't it? Look at the perspective, and yeah, like you said, you put it in context. Listen, we've lost one match in the league. To the team. I hate to say this, to who are top of the league at the moment. And it wasn't really like
a match we haven't won, a fixture we haven't won in
exactly in so however many years. Last time we won there was 2010, 12 years ago. So it wasn't totally unexpected. So I mean, I'm not really forced at all. I mean, that's my view on this. And people are slating him for playing Emerson. We'll look at lineups in a very shortly. Let's just see what the form guide is saying. I mean, okay, so far, I mean, we've had what that's been our form, right? In the last three Champions League matches, okay, we won one, lost one, and drawn one. So pretty even Stevens there. Last five in all competitions. Sorry, last six in all competitions, we won three, lost two, and drawn one as well. I mean,
drawn one. That's pretty good form.
yeah. So I mean, it's and if you look at those losses, I mean, for me, they were avoidable losses. So one against Sporting Lisbon, two late goals, and we could have wrapped that match up so big time during the match. So for me, I'm not even
Yeah,
forced.
we went blown away. Yeah,
Exactly. So I mean, okay, we lost to Arsenal, a couple of errors on our part, and essentially for me it was a gift. And I guess some people would say that, look, we should have played better. Maybe we could have played better. We could have been a bit more clinical in the final third passes, and the key last passes just sort of eluded us at the key moment. But that's football. It can be should have, could have. The most important thing is that put the ball in the net, back of the net, and the rest is history. Once you score goals, once you win matches, people just forget all of the mistakes you made during the match. But the moment you don't win the match, that's when everyone remembers that, oh, you didn't play this, you didn't play that, you didn't play this system, or that system should have been. And let's say success has many fathers, and when you
exactly,
don't do so well, it's
exactly.
you get everyone telling you all sorts of stories. But I mean, listen, I'm not even going to bother ourselves. Let's just have a quick look at, I mean, what are we predicting for as a lineup um for this match? I'm trying to think, who do we have? I mean, because I mean, I suspect
We know Conte. Conte likes stability. So since he didn't lose to Brighton with that formation, we're going to go with the same thing again. Just go 3-5-2 and get Richarlison off the bench. But because of the fact I think he might be playing, Emerson might come back because Emerson is only suspended for the league
for the
matches.
league matches, exactly. Yes.
I think Emerson might come back. I have a feeling he might come back. But I thought Doherty did a good. I thought Doherty and Sessegnon got in very good positions against Brighton.
I thought so too. I mean, and I think he'll probably leave Cecilia on and bring Doherty, sorry, and bring Emerson back, and or he might just play Doherty again, but it
Yeah,
probably wants him to
and
probably wants him to rest and sort of what you might call um, give him a bit of rest to get his fitness back, and then hopefully, I mean, unleash him against Everton. I say unleash, but I mean,
honorable mention for Ben Davies. Um, he was an unsung game against Brighton. I think Sessegnon plays really, really well when Ben Davies plays with him. Ben Davies got into those half spaces forward and allowed Sessegnon won man of the match, but I think you should all credit to Ben Davies and their interaction on that left. You know, I think good thing. I think Longley works well with Perisic and Sessegnon works well with Ben Davies. I think that's the way this season so far. Ben Davies works really, really well with Sessegnon.
that's
Understanding.
interesting. This is what I have. Let me just share with you what I have. I mean, this is what I have
Yeah.
as a team lineup, right? So I'm going with Lloris in goal, and of course, Lloris is giving a solid performance so far this season, apart from a few one howler or two, you know, which we wouldn't talk too much about against those guys up the road, you know. And then you have Romero, Dyer, and well, I'm going for Longley because I think he wants to use Longley in the Champions League matches and use Davies in the league. You know, I think that's what he probably would prefer. And of course, Royal. I think he will go with Royal on the right hand side. Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Sessegnon. Now, I think Sessegnon again because he probably wants to rest Perisic again for the league match at the weekend. I think because we need to win this match, he'll just go for the all-out attack from the beginning. You know, Richarlison, Kane, and Son. I think he'll go for a three-prong attack as he normally does. So, I think
Interesting.
Frankfurt we want to come and win that game, and so do we. So I think it's going to be a really tough match, and I think we'll come out on top. That This is my predicted lineup anyway. I think the only areas where we would probably disagree will be Longley and Sessegnon, right? You think you'll probably have Davis?
I yeah, I think Davis. I don't know why. I think Davis, and I think I think Perisic. I think Perisic because you're looking at the Germans aren't that physical. I think so. You're looking at I would say Davis. I don't know. I think Davis and Sessegnon are really good together. I think they really work.
Okay. And then you'd also think that uh, what's his name might play as well. What's his name? Doherty, right? Is that correct?
Doherty, yeah, Doherty. But if so, here's my thing. I think if we're going like what you've put up now, 3-4-3. If we go 3-4-3, I might think Royal would come back and play with Richarlison. I think that's possible. If we go 3-5-2, I think Doherty would play.
Right.
So it
Okay.
depends on what he decides. But I think your lineup is actually, I think, with the mindset for it, I think, it's better. Go for it. And then once you get the goals,
Exactly.
close up.
You can show up
That probably,
if you need to. You know, you can show up
yeah.
if you need to. So I think that's probably what it's gonna look like. Um, predict the scores. Predict the score line. What do you reckon?
I'm going for 3-0.
Hmm. Okay. I think I'm gonna go with you on that one. So we're predicting 3-0 to Spurs, yeah?
Yeah, 3-0.
Absolutely fantastic. Now, I don't want us to look too far forward. I know we have Everton around the corner, and with one eye looking at the league table, thinking, okay, so if we come away at this match, how many matches is Mr. Emerson suspended for? 3 matches or one?
3.
Three. Okay, because it was a straight red card, wasn't it?
Straight red card, yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, I'm not sure that we won't see him doing. I think he'll keep playing him in the Champions League matches, and then
Yeah.
while he's suspended, and then hopefully that will give others a chance to But when people are talking about Spence, I mean, there must be something that Spence is not doing that that Spence is doing that we can't see, And then also, I mean, I don't know if you notice also that Skippy is back. He's back in training. He's obviously part of the squad.
Yeah.
I think he had a cameo against. I can't remember who he had a cameo against. I think it was against. What team was that? Yeah, against the Rats of the Road. Yeah, he came on in that match, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, so I don't know if he'll give him
And
a chance.
he came on against Brighton as well.
I got hard against
He
Brighton
took
as
off
well.
Kane.
Yes.
He took off Kane. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
a friend of mine gave me this piece of knowledge. The guy goes to me, and he's an Italian football fan, and he said to me that it took 8 months, almost 8 months or something like that, to break into Conte's side. This is Ericsson. This is Ericsson with all his flair, all his technical. It took him 8 months to break into and finally understand. And Ericsson's an intelligent guy. There's a quote Conte made of Richarlison where he was very surprised at how Richarlison got the information of how he deploy his forwards. And that tells me that Spence and Bissouma are slower to what he wants. It's not a question of fitness, it's not a question of skill. They are very skilled players. There are certain things that he wants done in a certain way, and they're not getting it or they're not combining as well. And that I think is the difference with Doherty. If you watch Doherty, actually in that game against the very first 10 minutes, if you watch the game, there was a chance where Doherty, if he had only played the first time
yes,
cross, Sessignon would have
absolutely.
scored.
Yes.
It was a mirror image of Sessignon to him against last year.
Exactly. And they scored. I think they scored a couple of goals like that
So
last year. Yeah.
yeah. So
Yes.
right position. Spence, I think, doesn't know how to do those things yet, or places yet. Those are the little things that he does. The
Yeah.
same thing with Bissouma as well. Bissouma against Leicester, he dispossessed someone and quickly gave the ball to Højbjerg. But before, he would have wanted to run forward with the ball himself. But no, in this team, you have to give it to someone who gives it to the next and it goes. So I'm thinking in that way, it can it might be frustrating to some people to go that guy. Yeah, it's true, but the coach likes his things. Conte is
Yes.
a precise man.
Mr. Conte has his patterns, right? And you've got to play to those patterns. If you don't play to
Yeah.
those patterns, you're out. Sorry, simple and straightforward. Okay?
And if Ericsson struggled, Christian Eriksen is highly rated, highly touted. If he struggled to get into that side, who are you to say, compared to Eric? Ericsson's the template of how difficult it was for a player to break into his patterns. And he's a very attacking man. So I Spence is not as hard as painful as it is for me because I'm a Spence fan. I look at the coach and say, okay, there's a reason.
Definitely, there is a reason, and like we said, we need to win that match tomorrow. Yeah, win that match. Sorry, on Wednesday. Once we win that match, I think we will be in a very comfortable position. Hopefully, because we have 2 home games in quick succession, don't we? And I mean, if you're part of this family, you know that we normally have a post-match aftermath review of the match. So that comes up at 10:30 on Wednesday nights. 10:30 Wednesday nights. Join us on ComeonyespursTV. And yes, come and have some fun. Leave your comments below, and also, I mean, join us in the live chats on the day after of the match. We look forward to seeing you. And yeah, thank you so much, Shuma. It's been a pleasure having you as always.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah, come on,
Thank
you
you.
Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.